I'm Kevin Courtney.
And I'm Mary Bousted.
And we are the Joint General Secretaries of the National Education Union.
We want to talk to you about school and college opening.
Teachers, support staff and school and college leaders have done enormous work getting schools and colleges ready for reopening. But we're all being let down by the government. In June, we wrote to the Prime Minister outlining our education recovery plan. Our plan provided a route map for safe, wider reopening this September. But to this date, we have received no reply.
Last week, we again wrote to the Prime Minister calling for urgent measures so education can continue safely for all our pupils. We called for big measures that could help: asymptomatic testing, proactive monitoring of ventilation, protection for vulnerable staff, and employing more teachers to help reduce class sizes. But what we currently see is testing not available even for symptomatic pupils and staff, and coronavirus case numbers rising every day. Education is disrupted as children and teachers stay off longer than is necessary if their test is negative, and if the test turns out positive, building in delay to prevent the spread of the virus. In England, in the last week alone, there has been an alarming 60% increase in cases. It is now critical that the government steps up. It has to do everything in its power to allow schools and colleges to remain open for as long as possible in safety.
We are going to press the government on these matters, and we need your help to do that. We are calling on the government to radically improve the availability of testing and the efficiency of the Test Track Trace programme. It must take all necessary steps to get COVID cases falling again. We want it to share with us regular reports of all school outbreaks, looking at their causes, what steps were taken in response, and what can be learnt from them.
We want government to move towards regular testing of school staff before they have symptoms. We want clinically extremely vulnerable staff to be supported in working from home, and in the areas of highest infection for that consideration to be given to other vulnerable staff too. And we want the government to guarantee that the costs of school health and safety measures, the extra spending on supply staff when other staff are self-isolating, and all other COVID costs must be reimbursed centrally.
These steps, cases falling, testing improved, vulnerable staff protected, are vital. But they aren't all the government needs to do. In preparation for local lockdowns, plans must be made now and resources provided for blended and remote learning. Children and young people living in poverty and low-income households must be given the resources they need to learn at home. And in areas of highest case numbers, the government should be making emergency efforts to reduce class sizes, using supply staff and NQTs who haven't found jobs to reduce the size of transmission networks.
Our exam and assessment system must change too. Many young people will have significant time off school over the coming months, on top of the unequal effects of the lockdown last term. We need changes so that GCSE and A-levels can provide a fair assessment of young people's attainment, assessing what children have been taught, not what they haven't been taught. Or exams must be replaced by the moderated centre-assessed grades. Government needs to act on this urgently, as our GCSE and A-level teachers are crying out for clarity. National testing in primary schools, including SATs and performance tables, must be suspended this year. There is no way they will provide fair assessments of our students or schools. And vocational qualifications should be allowed to adapt their assessments this year as they were for summer 2020.
Our members are going the extra mile. And in all of this, we need a fair deal for both teachers and support staff. Pay rises and pay progression must be honoured. Workload must be controlled.
We all want schools and colleges to be open for as long as possible, but we all know that requires them to be safe. Our plans give us the best chance of achieving that aim.
This government needs to step up, and over the coming days and weeks, we will be putting pressure on them to make the changes that we need.
We owe it to our members, their pupils and their communities to stand up for safety in our schools. Help us to keep up the pressure.